Bum, 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 bum. I love it. Oh, I do like our music. A very good morning to you, boys and girls. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, the 18th of March, 2020. A very, very good morning to you, live from Television Centre here in Royal Berkshire. Welcome to another happy programme, boys and girls, talking about this, that and the other. Welcome along to the show. Let me just get a little bit of music ready. We've got the music at the end yesterday that we've just started doing, didn't we? Where is it? Let me just line that up. Now, what one was it? Was it the Final Overthrow, I think it's called? Is it that one? Yeah, that's the one there. We've got that nicely lined up for later. As long as I remember it. I've completely forgot it yesterday. Good morning to Mick Davenport, Michael Pullman, Fran Green, Brendan Brady fan, Diane Jebb, you delightful creature. Good morning, Diane. Hello to Mandy, who's standing by, boys and girls, to dish out pain and suffering to anyone who misbehaves this morning. Watch out, watch out. Mandy is in the house today. In the place to be. Do you remember that? Run DMC. I love that. It's like that. Proper hip-hop. That's before hip-hop became aggressive, like it is now. Telling people what they want to do to people with guns and drugs and things like that. Wasn't like that in my day, dear. Oh, yes. Run DMC. We love it. Morning to Mark Jones. Good morning, Mark. Welcome along. Who's on his work account today. He is a support worker, supporting people with great needs, like myself. I'm in great need. I'm not quite sure of what, but I'll think of something by the end of the show. Thank you very much, Mark. Morning to, he's got his fridge magnet that he won last week as well. Excellent. Hello to Colin Coates. Leighton, a very good morning to Leighton. Alan is in the house. Morning, Alan. Welcome to the show, Alan. Welcome, Sean Pye. Good morning to you. Is that everyone? Info Scuba Diving is there as well. Whenever I see your name now, I check that I've put my phone on because I know sometimes you text as well. I'm a devil for forgetting that blooming phone. The texting phone is up and running this morning, boys and girls. Very good news. You won't be hearing this too often. And that is because I have it on good account. One of someone's Facebook posts this morning morning to Jason Hughes texting in this morning. Morning, Jason. I have it on good account that the Borg, due to the coronavirus in this country, the Borg invasion has been cancelled. They've gone back the other way. They're terrified. Me too. So the Borg invasion, as you well know, Star Trek is a documentary programme, boys and girls. Star Trek is a documentary programme that you can see over many, many years. A lot of people think it's fictional. No, it's not. There are actual starships flying around the universe at this very moment, collecting dilithium crystal and sorts of things like that, and sorting out, minor problems on other planets with various... I believe they even deal with Daleks occasionally, although I haven't seen any on the programme. But Captain Jean-Luc Picard informs me personally on my communicator, beep, 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 3 to beam up. Oh, that's what I need to put... Oh, these could be communicators, couldn't they? Just a moment. Where are we now? This could be... What we need to do is find some way of fixing these super chat badges with little communication devices. That's what we need to do. So if you're a little bit desperate out there and you need to talk to me, you just Chris Reardon, please, and it comes straight through to my communicating badge. You like the sound of that? I like the sound of that. Yeah. Available only for a £2 super chat. Chris Reardon. Oh, hello. Can I help? Of course, that won't be a free service, I have to say to you, boys and girls. I have to make money somewhere, dear. There's no money coming in from karaoke nights anymore. All cancelled. By me, but nevertheless, all cancelled. Yes. There are actual stuff. A lot of people don't realise that. Oh, it's a made-up story. No, it's not. It's a documentary series, Star Trek. You know that. Anyway, Captain Jean-Luc Picard communicated with me this morning on his Facebook account that the Borg invasion has been cancelled by the Borg, who have turned round and gone the other way because they're all scared of the virus. There we are. So that's sort of a little bit of good news for you this morning, boys and girls, as you well know. Good morning to One moment, please. Very good morning to Mr. Ray Reynolds joining us this morning. Morning, Ray. We're coming to you a little later time. We seem to be getting a little bit late with the show, but that's okay, isn't it? I kind of got nothing to get up for anymore. Apart from doing this, there's nothing going on during my day, really, and I find myself going to bed. I'd like to start going to bed early. You know, sort of by 12 o'clock or something like that, rather than hanging around to sort of 1, 2. I mean, sometimes it gets to 12 o'clock, I come upstairs, and then I start doing stuff, and before you know where you are, it's like 1:30. Funny, isn't it? I cleaned a window yesterday, just one. I cleaned a window yesterday with my new window vacuum cleaner. Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't have any vinegar, so I used fairy liquid. And I used to use my dishwashing sponge, which I'll be honest with you, has seen better days. The dishwasher, what are the black marks that start appearing on a dishwasher sponge? Is that mould? And I did the inside of one pane of glass, no, 2 panes. The one window I did yesterday, there were 2 panes of glass, you know. Actually, about the same size as that one there. It was the same size as that one there, it was. 2 panes of glass I did. Wasn't that one, incidentally. And after I'd done the suds and all that, you know, I then walked away and I thought, leave the water a little while to do its work. Because I can't remember the last... Don't tell anyone. Do not tell anyone. I cannot remember the last time I'd done the inside of my windows. Isn't that disgusting and filthy? I mean, Mark, the window... Oh, won't have him much longer. He's getting lost to Spain, isn't he? Mark, my lovely window cleaner, Pearl's son. She's 4 days along. You know Pearl, don't you? Babe Station Pearl, we call her. She's like 1, 2, she's 3 doors down. She's on the end. We're both on each end. So Pearl's on one end, I'm on the other end, and 2 lovely people. We've got fantastic neighbours here. Fantastic neighbours. They heard that I weren't well last week. Well, the phone starts texting. Anything you need, let us know. What they should have put was, anything you need, let us know. And in brackets, please stand well back from the door when you open it. It's a bit like that at the moment, isn't it, eh? And, yeah, Pearl's son has or is selling his house, which isn't far from me. I've been around his house. And is going to buy a place in Spain. I think he's made enough money. Well, he was a window cleaner. You know, they get good money. They work damn hard. I wouldn't want to be a window cleaner. Up that blooming ladder in the freezing winter. He said, when it's really cold, you know, as in frozen, you know, let it go, let it go. Oh, I hate that song. Let it go, let it go. Shut up, Elsa. We don't want to hear it anymore. I blame her for this whole virus thing. It's Elsa. Elsa. That's her fault. Anyway, so he's selling his house and they're going to Spain. And he was saying, I remember him telling me, in the really cold weather, they try and wash the windows and the water freezes on the windows while they're trying to do them. He does a good job. But I only ever have him do the outside. He don't charge me as much as everyone else because I know him. But then again, I always give him a good tip, so I'll probably pay more anyway. But that doesn't matter to me. He's a nice bloke, Mark. He used to go raving and all that, same as me, around the same period of time. He's got a lovely family. You know, wife and some children. Anyway, they're up and off to Spain, as long as we all come through this, okay. You know, so good luck to him. Anyway, so I do the insides myself, but I haven't done them for ages. Now I remember Mum doing windows. Do you remember your mum doing windows? She used something called Windoline, which was like a cream stuff. And I did once, only ever once. Once I bought a bottle of Windoline, which is a delightful pink colour, isn't it? Do you remember? Windoline is pink. Lovely colour. And the smell is quite nice as well. And you kind of pour this onto your cloth, a little bit on your cloth, and then you start rubbing your windows. My God, ain't that hard work? Oh, dear. Trying to get all the smears off the windows. Never again. I think I chucked the bottle away after that. After that or drunk it, one of the two. It was a nice smell, you see. All that stuff is a bit dodgy for children, isn't it? You know, when they put nice smells like berry smells in your washing up liquid. I suppose a lot of children must end up hospital like that when you think about it. 'Cause, oh, that smells nice, Mummy. When Mummy's not looking, they start drinking the washing up liquid or the window cleaner or worse, something with what would do, well, probably all would do terrible damage, wouldn't it? It's a little bit like, you know, when you're doing cars and that, you know, antifreeze. Some people do their own cars, and I have to take mine to the garage because I'm not that way talented. But people do their own cars, and they They change the water and antifreeze in it a bit. They leave a bit on the floor without cleaning it up. Some poor cat comes along. Oh, that smells nice. Drinks it. Cat dead. Kidney failure. Dreadful. Dreadful. Anyway, that Windoline is not for me. That is blooming hard work using Windoline. And actually, some of the other sprays that you buy as well, you rub and rub and... Oh, there's a smear there now. Oh, that smear's gone. Oh, there's another one there now. Oh, what a nightmare. So yesterday I did the soap and suds, and I had my window vacuum cleaner. Wow, how fantastic is that? No lines. No lines. I went down one side... And I thought, oh, how do I do this now? I'll overlap it. I overlapped slightly where the line would be. No lines. Fantastic. The only thing where a little bit doesn't do too well is around the sides. You know, where you got that rubber thing sticking out where the glass, you got the frame and the glass and that bit of rubber. That bit of rubber there that kind of connects the two together. Yeah? So the rubber vacuum cleaner doesn't seem to go over that bit, or it does and it pulls it back so it doesn't quite connect with the window. So there you've got the cloth going over. You just put the cloth around that, or in my case a tea towel, all of which are in the washing machine at this very moment. What's that? There's a feather in it. A feather. So there we are. Window clean done yesterday. Thank you very much. I think I'm going to have to do some other domestic work as well, you know. There's about 5 shirts left now in my cupboard that are ironed. I think the iron is... Oh, God, I'm not looking forward to that. Really not. Either that or I'll have to go into T-shirts next. We're running out of stuff. This, I wouldn't have normally worn this. It's a little bit tight around my tummy still, this one. But this is probably... I think there's about 3 or 4 more shirts that I can wear before I start having to iron. Dreadful, dreadful. Good morning to George Bond joining us this morning. Morning, George. Kevin James, a very good morning to young Kevin. Hello to you, sir. Full lockdown in the Philippines. Yes, won't be the only country, as you well know. Italy, many, many other places. Dreadful, dreadful. Did I say hello to George Bond? I think I did. Good morning, George Bond. Kevin. Good morning to Kevin Arnold Ashburner. Very good morning to you. Welcome to our little show, Kevin. Hello. Hope you enjoy the strangeness of this madness, which is what it is. Just madness generally. Nothing too serious, we hope. Mix put hand sanitizer on Mandy's new fridge magnet. She's donating it to my shrine. That has arrived. Excellent. Bless her. How many of those? You've got quite a few of those green ones now, haven't you? See, when they first came out, you weren't winning them, were you? And then suddenly you got about 2 or 3, I think, there. Sean's not going to be on the chat box this morning as he can't put his mask on. Fair enough, Sean. Well, what's your arms dropped up or something like that, have they? Why can't you put your mask on this morning? Oh, you have your... I cannot speak today as I have my mask on. I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. Yes, you really... I think it's about time we're going to have to introduce some restrictions on this show, boys and girls. And you will be asked soon to use masks while you're in the chat box. I think that's very, very important. But just for your own benefits, dear. For your own benefits. I have no filter on my face at all. As you'll know if you ever meet me in public and we have a conversation. My mouth doesn't have a filter. It's just boring. Mouth's on filters. A very good morning to Dr. Gregorian, who's now home. Good morning, Dr. Gregorian. Welcome home to the United Kingdom, dear, where it's all gradually falling apart. Very welcome to you. Mick's not too well this morning. Do you wear boxers around? Just wear your boxers around the house? No, I what do I wear around the house? Tracksuit bottoms, really, and an old T-shirt. You know, I mean, sometimes the top I've got gets very dirty, I must say. Did I say hello to John Aitken, who's with us this morning? Morning to John. Last night I watched a couple of films. Just going back on the subject of Star Trek there. Another excellent episode. I cannot find anything wrong with the new series of Star Trek, Picard, which is on the Amazon Prime. We've just had another episode of Picard. I think there's only another 2 to go now, and it's so good. And 7 of 9 makes a reappearance, and she becomes, for a short while, Borg. And she connects these things. These things come down. Oh, it was fantastic. Reminded me of the film, I think, Nemesis, which is the one that the Borg Queen appeared in. Was it Nemesis? I can't remember now. But anyway, these 3 wires, cables come down, and they connect into her back, and suddenly she becomes Borg again. And her eyes go, wow. We are Borg. It's fantastic. Fantastic. You gotta watch that. If you've got the Amazon Prime, Picard, the latest Star Trek thing. My friend DJ Chris was telling me that when Picard finishes on Amazon Prime, the new series of Discovery will start on Netflix. I'm not sure about that. Anyone who might want to look that up and have a look to see if you can find any information about that at all. But again, Star Trek Discovery, an excellent... We've had 2 series of that so far, which have both been, outstanding. It really has. Fantastic. Good. So that's We Are Borg. Cloudy again this morning. Yeah. I'll go out again for another walk. As you know, no swimming at the moment. So the only exercise I'm getting is walking. But I've taken it upon myself now to go for at least an hour's walk every morning after the show. As soon as I finish the show, I shut down there and I go over the forest. Whether it's warm or cold, don't really bother me. And I walk. I'm not walking too fast, I must say. Probably a good thing to do with exercise, I think, is to walk fast. Rather than sort of dawdle along. I tend to dawdle along a bit, like that, On the other hand, there are like ups and downs on there, so that helps as well, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's not like flat. If I was out in Lincolnshire at the caravan, it's very flat there. You could walk for miles and not really go up a hill or down a hill or anything. Over the forest, there's some big ups and downs like that. And in certain areas, if you come off the main path, well, you've got to be careful because there's an awful lot of big puddles around at the moment. An awful lot of big puddles around over the forest at the moment. Good morning to John Parrish. Morning, John. And, good morning to Gary's British Talk Show. Started his own show. It's all practice, Gary. It's all practice, mate. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. And perhaps watch... I wouldn't say watch other things and do what they're doing. I never watched anyone else's show and think, oh, I'd like to do that. I'd like to do that like that. And I just do it. I just do it. If anything, if there was anything that this show was, if it was anything I ever looked at that I wanted this to look similar to, it would be the continuity announcers, which no longer we don't have them anymore in this country. The continuity announcers that appeared in between the programmes on ITV. That's how I kind of wanted this to look when I first started it. Obviously, I don't just read you what the next few programmes are on the telly. That's how I wanted this to look. And if you go on to those of young people who won't even know what the hell I'm talking about, on ITV, they used to have a lady or a bloke come up in between the programmes. So, I don't know, Neighbours would finish and a bloke would come up there. And a very good morning to you and welcome to Thursday nights here on Southern. And then they'd start talking to you as a friend, and you connected with these people. My very good friend Tom Edwards, that was the job he did. He did London Thames. He did London, he did Harlock, HTV and Wales and Anglia and Central. He did all of them, and he would travel from one to the other to just sit there in between the programmes and do his thing. That's how I kind of wanted this to appear. Oh, except without the blooming door. Why didn't someone tell me that door was open? How awful. How awful and unprofessional, as Mick Davenport would say. That's how I wanted this to look. But I would say to you, Gary, do your own thing. Just do your own thing. Just do your own thing and see what happens. It can take many, 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 many years to build up more than a handful of people that watch. Generally, friends that you know now, they won't have an interest. Don't be disappointed when even your closest friends, you tell them what you're doing, they might log on for a couple of minutes, and then you never see them again, if you see what I mean. Don't be disappointed. That's quite normal, okay? Don't expect to get encouragement from any friends, okay? That being said, also family as well, actually. Family as well. You may find one or two. I was lucky because my brother-in-law, I don't know if he's with us today, he's probably sitting there on the side quietly, but my brother-in-law was doing something very similar. And when we kind of not at first, but we started doing stuff not together, but encouraging each other. And I'm still trying to encourage him to go back doing the live shows again. But it's encouraging each other to do bits, and often he's there. But generally, friends, forget friends. You've got to look for people that like what you do. None of these people on here did I know really before I started doing this, all the karaoke nights. You have to find the crowd that likes what you do, and it's difficult. And if there is any negativity on there, just ignore it. Just ignore it. You know, some might have someone annoying on there who kind of tries to perhaps take over. You've got to ignore it and carry on doing what you do, because you have to remember, if you get a few little people, 3-4 people who regularly watch, and then someone else comes in and tries to change it because they don't quite like what you're doing. No, you carry on doing what you do and ignore someone who's trying to change it. Because remember, they're watching you because they already like what you're doing. Unless it's someone like, I don't know, Terry Wogan no longer with us. If you've got a comment from someone like Tony Blackburn, hi Chris, But maybe if you try this, maybe if you try this, and they'll perhaps gently give you a little bit of advice or something like that. Or you could, if you know someone in a place like that, perhaps BBC or whatever. When I went up to BBC Lincolnshire, I spoke to William up there, and I asked him a couple of questions. I won't tell you what, and he suggested some answers. Fantastic, But do your own thing and don't be swayed by anyone who kind of tried to take it over, if you see what I mean. All right. Good morning to the delightful Claire. Morning, young Claire. Resistance is futile, says Resistance. We are Borg. No, it's not actually. It doesn't sound like that, does it? We are Borg, like a bit like that. Not like a Dalek. Not like a Dalek. I love the Borg. I want to be part of the collective. Yeah. I don't want to be the Borg Queen. No, dear. What do you mean? That would be appropriate. How dare you? I think I would like to be Borg. Yeah. Everyone together, working together hard. I like the sound of that. Fun things to do with tech. Is welcoming us to everything. Good morning to you. Oh, look, it's a £2 super chat for the advice there for Gary's British talk show. Yeah, baby. Thank you very much, Gary, for your £2 tips. Very, very kind of you, sir. £2 tip coming in. It was worth me coming in today, weren't it? £2 tip already. Oh, the money's pouring in this morning, dear. Don't send too much money, boys and girls. Save it up for when we get hand sanitizer again, which will be available soon for £25 for a small 100 centilitre bottle. I'm sure it will. Rachel now reminds me that the door is open. Too late, Rachel. I've closed it now, my love. Do you mind if I just open the window? I'm a little bit warm in here this morning. One moment, please. We are now trying to connect your call. Your call is important to us. I had the window open last night. All night long in bed. I love it. I love it because right next to, because I'm on the end, and then there's just trees and bushes, and I hear the birds. Oh, it's lovely. It's lovely. Tweety Birds. Sometimes the magpies pipe up if they see a cat or something like that. Why do magpies make so much noise like that? Magpies. I like Tweety Birds, don't you? Tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet. And then a single magpie might start. Nah, nah, nah. And you're trying to listen to the Tweety Birds. Tweet, 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 tweet. But you can't hear them because of the magpie. Nah, nah. And then one of its mates comes and they both start, don't they? Nah, 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 nah. Oh, it's like a load of kids who suddenly come into the room. And one of them starts and then the rest follow. Now, I know this for a fact because my niece has 3 delightful creatures. There's George, who's 7. There's Emily, who's 6. And there's James, who's coming up to 3 years old now. And they follow her everywhere. Sometimes I'm doing a Facebook time thing. What's that called? A video call with her. Sometimes I'm doing a video call with her. And the children come along and she goes like this. She brushes her hair back. Oh, God. I said, well, just go into another room. She says, they just follow me. They follow her everywhere. I said, well, go into the toilet and shut the door. She said, I've tried that. They start banging on the door. They can't have her out of the sight for too long. Just like the magpies, dear. One magpie comes along, another one's there, and there you are. You know, you might be laying in your garden. Last night I had the window open all night long, as you know, as I told you. I had the window open last night, and I was woken up by the sound of beautiful Tweety Birds. Tweet, 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 tweet. Beautiful little sounds. And I have a robin that comes to visit me in the garden. He hops over. He or she. How'd you tell? I'm not going to grab the thing and hold it upside down and examine it with a pair of tweezers, am I? Huh? This thing jumps all over the place. It gets a little bit close, and then it decides it's a bit too close, and then it hops backwards again. Beautiful little things. There's a robin there, and these yellow. I think they're tits. Yellow tits. They kind of got yellow chests and they're a bit green. I don't know what they're called. Or is it a green tit? Yellow tit? Green? I don't know what they are. And they're tiny little birds. Tiny little things. They fly very quickly. And if you get close to a bush, because I've got bushes all around the garden, you see. And indeed outside the garden, like brambles and things like that. And as you get close to a bush, sometimes 3 or 4 of them suddenly fly out to scare you. And I love it, and I love the noise. Tweet, tweet, tweet. And then when there's a great big fat magpies coming up, and pigeons as well. Occasionally you get pigeons in the garden. If I put enough bread out, down they come. You know the pigeons are there because they come down and bang on the ground. Great big fat things they are, dear. You know, I think they've been to a few fast food restaurants, to be honest. They're not living on just a few scraps of bread that we've chucked out the window. No, they're probably queuing up at McDonald's. Somewhere like that, KFC, any of those fast food places, many are available, boys and girls. Just in case, I thought I'd better mention that in case you're listening on the BBC to this particular item. And then the noisy ones arrive. The blooming magpies. What an awful noise they make. Like that. And you've only got to have a cat appear. Well, they go absolutely mad. They go mad when a cat appears. And they all gather around. 5, 6, 10 of them. You can't hear anything. I mean, just imagine if you were trying to listen to my talking and magpies suddenly landed next to you. No, don't like magpies. Please, if you know of any birds wherever you are in the world, could you write to them immediately and ask for only Tweety Birds to arrive outside my caravan in Chapel Hill. Thank you very much. Tweety Birds, that's what we love. Tweety Birds. Now, where are we? So that was my window open last night, and I was woken up by Tweety Birds, which was very nice. It was around about 5 o'clock. The Tweety Birds woke me up, and I kind of drifted off again. Then I woke up again. It was like 7 o'clock. Oh, I'll just have a little bit longer. And then it was 9 o'clock. I don't think I got up till 9 o'clock this morning, but that's okay, isn't it? You know, it doesn't matter, does it? You know? Doesn't really matter. We'll get so late like that. Let's just scroll down there. Claire, new jacket goes strangely out of focus all the time. Does it? Does it really? The jacket? Oh, hang on. I haven't got my autofocus turned on, have I? Because if I have, that would do that. I'm sure I turned it off. No, that's off. That is off. Oh, how strange. Is that happening for anyone else? Am I defocusing? Am I defocusing? I don't want to be defocused, dear. I like you to see all my sharp lines. Look at my hair, dear. Isn't it awful? I'm frightened to go to the hairdressers. Not joking. I am. I'm frightened to have contact with anyone at the moment. We must be as careful as possible. Let's have a look. Morning to Gavin Bass. Welcome to the show, Gavin. Hello to you. Let's just scroll down there, my darlings. I don't refer to the messages. If you're new to the show, welcome along. I don't constantly refer to the messages. I come back and forward to them, all right? Otherwise, there's no show, really. Mick says Barry's getting a chill now the windows are open. Yes, I noticed that his nipples were starting to become erect due to the coldness coming in from the open window. I'm pretty lucky, actually. I don't really suffer from getting cold too much. I don't. I mean, you may remember actually a couple of weeks ago, I kept getting really hot in here and in my bed as well. Whether I was fighting off this just disastrous virus thing, I don't know. Good morning to Anthony G. Morning, Anthony, who says... Oh, one moment, please. I've just jumped down there. Well, I've lost your message, Anthony. Don't open your window. Someone could pinch your toilet roll. Well, one lady is making her own toilet roll at the moment. Yes, here's a suggestion for you. Woman... Oh, hang on, that's the wrong story. Here we are. Amber... no, that's the wrong story as well. Where is it? There we go. Desperate mum resorts to making her own toilet roll during coronavirus madness and saves a fortune. Now, this is in this morning's Super Soraway Sun. Oh, yeah. If it's in the Sun, it must be real. A clever mum was forced to make her own toilet paper after she attempted to get her hands on some 4 times, only to be met with empty supermarket shelves and no chance of picking up some rolls for her family. Now, in a desperate bid to provide her household with a solution for toilet paper, the Australian mum, and we've seen quite a few videos actually of fights between women in Australia. Now, apparently, is this what happens in Australia, Michael? Michael Pullman's there. Michael Pullman's in Australia. Is that how the ladies are? Is it a regular thing that ladies seem to have fights in Australia with each other, Michael? Is that what happens? She says, in a desperate bid to provide her household with a solution, the Australian mum decided to pop into her local hardware store where she picked up a pack of 20 microfiber cloths for less than £6, which in the long run will save her a fortune. In hope her idea would encourage others to do the same, the mum took to Facebook where she detailed her method and solution to not having an ample supply of toilet paper. She explained that with just 1 pack of the microfiber cloths, she was able to create 80 pieces that could be washed and reused time and time again. Ensuring the idea is practical, the woman said, after use they go straight into a bucket of bleach with a lid on it, which sits beside the toilet. She continued to explain that when the bucket is filled... I mean, you wouldn't want it to fill, would you? I mean, and you just wouldn't. You wouldn't want that bucket to fill up, would you, before you do anything about it? Anyway, she says after use they go straight into a bucket of bleach with a lid on it, which sits behind the toilet. She continued to explain that when the bucket is filled with the used microfiber cloths, I mean, is this something you want to try? She pops them all into the washing machine in a separate load with some napisan, I don't know what that is, to make them clean again. Must be some sort of nappy cleaner to make them clean again. To make the cloths, she simply cut each cloth into quarters and overlocked the raw edges, so she was able to turn the 20 cloths into an 80, which works out to roughly 8p per piece. She also picked up a small plastic tub from the hardware store to keep the cloths in, which set her back a couple of extra pounds, it says in the Sun this morning, but anything can be used to store the toilet paper alternative. While the mum acknowledged that her current toilet paper situation is far from ideal, she said it has its perks and it's environmentally friendly, reusable and reduces flushing, meaning they can also save on the water. She said, our household alone saves about 25 flushes per day, so I can justify a small load to wash every couple of days. So she washes them as well after that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, is that something you feel you could do? Sort of reuse? I don't think I can. If you had to, I suppose you would, wouldn't you? I mean, I don't think there's any chance of infections going around, and not if you use it and then drop it into a load of bleach and that, and then what's it, some nappy thing she puts it in, and then she washes it in the washing machine. My bugbear of that would be that they've got to go in the washing machine, you know. Obviously not at the same time as all your clothes, but nevertheless, it'd put them in a dustbin. On the other hand, I've trodden in dog mess or cat mess before outside, and after scraping off the shoe or the trainer, I've then put them in the washing machine on their own. So, no difference, I suppose. Would you do something like that? Would you? Let me know. Rachel! Tits and chests, what kind of programme is this, dear? Keep it clean. John's got parakeets outside her house and magpies, all very noisy, and great big crows. Oh, I saw one of those while I was on my walk yesterday over the forest. Massive, great big... I mean, they could do some serious damage, those. Massive, great big crows, they were, with long black beaks. Didn't seem to be bothered by me. But it's like you can actually get reasonably close to those and then they fly off. And they're very graceful. Great big wings like that as they fly along the ground and up they go. I might, although they say we might have a little bit of rain today, I'd like to go over the forest and with my iPhone and tripod. It's not that heavy, the tripod, and do a little bit of an opening video over there to sort of change the opening video I've got a bit, because we've had that for quite some time now. I'd like to try and keep it moving, you know. Mick, give me bird tweeting any day. Try waking up to Mandy moaning. Well, you must be doing something to make her moan. Stop doing things to Mandy. Mandy, I think it's time. Time to hit your husband. You can have it, dear. Let's have a look there. Where are we scrolling down? Wait, let's go back up there. A very good morning to Sam Thomas, who's joining us. Morning, Sam. Fran, if a robin visits, it's someone from heaven. Oh, that'd be my mum. I hope it's my mum and my mum and my dad. That would be nice. Wouldn't it be nice if we came back? Funnily enough, I was thinking about this over the forest the other day, you know, laying there and thinking, you know, when our time comes, and let's hope that this virus doesn't speed it up for any of us, really. But of course it will, not necessarily on this channel, but people, you know, different people and that. But I looked around and I thought, you know, when you're dead, you're going to a cemetery or something like that, didn't you? With loads of other dead people. And let's be honest, even when you're dead, that's the thing. When you're dead, you go into a cemetery with lots of other dead people, don't you? You know, now there are some very nice cemeteries around, I'll give you that. There's some very well-kept cemeteries, nice flowers in those vase things where, you know when you go into a cemetery and perhaps one of your, I'm sure one or two of you have got loved ones in there. I certainly have. And the vase thing seems to go missing, doesn't it? Or at least the top of it. Where did that go? Where do they go? You look around in a cemetery, you know that thing that, I don't know what it's called. It's like a metal vase and it sits in the middle of the coffin, not the coffin, of the grave. And you poke flowers through the little holes in the top. Well, the thing on the top with the little holes always goes missing. Who is nicking those, please? I reckon it's a dentist. He nicks these metal tops, right, from the tops of these graves, melts them down and uses it as fillings in people's heads. Dreadful, dear. Or someone dodgy making counterfeit money. You know, next time you look at your 5 pence in your hand or something like that, you think to yourself, is that a fake one? Has that been made out of someone's dead vase thing, whatever they're called? I don't know. They go missing, don't they? But nevertheless, you know, so when it's your time, and as I say, I hope it's not too soon for you. You die, and generally you get buried or cremated somewhere where there's lots of other dead people. Now, I'm sorry. Even if you're dead, do you really want to be surrounded by dead people? I mean, to be honest, sometimes looking at some of the people watching this show, I wonder if there is anyone alive watching this programme now. You don't really want to be buried surrounded by other dead people, do you? You don't. And I was going for a walk over the forest the other day, and it was a sunny day. This was it Monday or Tuesday this week? Beautiful day. And I laid down on this long tree trunk, looking up and looking around, and I thought, do you know, this is just so beautiful. It was dead quiet. There was no one else around. All I could see was the sky, the little white clouds, and the trees and the stuff growing everywhere. And I thought, how beautiful and peaceful is this? You know, to be part of this. And it suddenly occurred to me, you can be part of it. Now, when I say that, you don't necessarily have to go out to your local tent shop and buy a tent and start camping in the middle of the forest, especially not in the winter, dear. Far too cold. You don't want to be opening it. But when I was in the Scouts, let me tell you, we camped and there was snow outside the tent. God knows why we didn't freeze to death in the Scouts. Cubs, do your best. We will do our best. Yes. I promised to help Cub Scouts and God and the Queen and all that promise thing that we used to do in the Scouts. And there were many times we used to go to a place, I can't remember where it was now, it was called Buckmore Park, I think it was called, Buckmore Park. And we would go, do you know when we used to go? February. And this was in the 1970s. Winters, believe me, winters were a lot colder in the 1970s than they are now. A hell of a lot colder. They really were. And there were many times we used to go on this camping site and we would be setting up our tents and we would have to clear the snow first. Why, oh why we didn't freeze to death, I don't know. Of course, you wouldn't have any of that now. Oh no, not with the millennial mummies. Oh no, my little boy and my little girl can't possibly go camping unless they are in a 4-star hotel with central heating and soft beds. Pathetic. Proper camping, that's what we did. We used to freeze in the little tents. Anyway, I'm not suggesting that you should go out and get a tent and go and camp in the forest. No, because you can't really be part of it while you're still alive, can you? Even in the most basic things, you know, if you're in there in a tent and you're cooking stuff, well, you're now damaging stuff. You can have the smallest fire in the world. You're still damaging stuff around you. The smoke's going up. No, you've got to wait until you're dead. And how wonderful it must be, perhaps, to be buried among all those trees and the plants. So you got your box. You wouldn't want to be over preserved, shall we say? You wouldn't be over preserved, whatever that stuff is they put in your veins, because they take all your blood out. You know, I'm sorry to be quite graphical at this time. You know, they put something else in. You wouldn't want over preservation to be going on there. You know, you'd want to sort of decompose as rapidly as possible. And then you would become part of that earth. And the roots of the trees would go down and they'd suck you back up and you'd become part of a tree and the plants and the grass. The very stuff that perhaps a few years before you were sitting there thinking how wonderful it all looks, especially in the spring. Or the little flowers opening. As I say, over the forest, the flowers that are opening at the moment, I know, were on a plant, I think it's called gorse. Gorse, which is a really prickly bush. I mean, you couldn't touch it. There's nowhere on the branch for you to touch, you know. Big spikes on there. And they're just starting to flower at the moment. Beautiful, stunning yellow flowers. A little bit like, you know the rapeseed flowers? Or I don't know what it's called exactly. Rapeseed, when you see these beautiful fields all over the country, actually. Beautiful fields. And sometimes that smells a bit funny, that does, that rapeseed stuff. But it's beautiful. Entire fields covered in yellow. So the gorse at the moment over the forest, that's flowering at the moment. And it's just beautiful. And when you're dead, you're buried there, you can actually become part of it. And come on, gang. Isn't that better? So, I mean, you know, the same place that you've been going to perhaps all your life as a child, walking around saying, oh, this is beautiful, this is beautiful, this is beautiful. There's your opportunity to become part of it forevermore. Now, isn't that better than being surrounded by dead people? Just a suggestion, boys and girls. Just a suggestion there. Just a suggestion. Let's just scroll up a little bit there. Where did we get to now? Don't open your window. We've done that one. Michael is sending me all the magpies. Please don't, Michael. I can't bear the noise. No magpies, please. Morning to Sam Thomas joining us there. Ray, you want soft focus. You look like Doris Day. What do you mean? Is the picture not good today or something? Let me have a look on my other monitor. Let's have a look. I don't know. Let's have a look. It looks. Is it on soft focus now? I don't know what it's on, dear. Difficult to know. Are you happy with the picture? I shall just carry on and ignore these comments, dear. I think you're just winding me up, as some of you do try and do. Where are we now? Good morning to one man and his sprinter van. Is it Carl? One man and his sprinter van. I'm trying to kind of learn names as well. Very good morning to you. Sam's not well at the moment. I'll get well soon, Sam. You look after yourself, mate. You look after yourself there at home. Yes. Not nice not to be not well, is it, my love? Yeah. Be very careful, my love. Yes, it is Carl, isn't it? Carl the busy bee. That's it. Thank you. Fran, like the old terrace nappies before plastic took over the world. Yeah, people used to just wash their nappies, didn't they? I suppose a lot of us on here who are sort of over 50, we would never have known disposable nappies. I mean, I don't remember when I was in nappies, to be honest. I can't remember that far back, I'm afraid. Good morning to Steph Diamond. Morning, young Steph. Hello to you, sweetheart. Morning, Steph. Sean, you can buy them new grave things from eBay made out of plastic. What, those flower things? Ah, right, okay. I'll get another one for my mum then, for my mum and dad's grave. It's okay. The top is still available. It's still on mine, but it's metal and I don't know how it gets bent. It's like someone took it out, kicked it round a bit, and then put it back in there. It's always got snouts underneath it, though, haven't they? Always got snouts underneath them. Mick, when I'm dead, Mandy's going to make me into a diamond and have me encrusted into her whip's handle. But a blooming big diamond, wouldn't it, Mick? Blimey. She will be rich if you're created into a diamond. But, you know, if you're going to be made into a diamond, Mick, haven't you got to sparkle a bit first? And quite frankly, I'm not seeing any sparkling coming out of you. I'm sorry, I have to be honest. I don't see any sparkling coming out of you at all. Rachel, well, you wouldn't know if you were surrounded by dead people because you'd be dead. Not the point, dear. Not the point. Not the point at all. I may have to have that written into my will. Please don't surround me with dead people. Morning to Russ Vernon. He's watching on his TV in his bedroom this morning. We're all trying to keep as safe as possible away from the coronavirus. We are trying to keep as safe as possible. It's not always possible. You know, I went out yesterday. I went to Aldi. Late night Aldi, I do. Impossible going into any of these shops during the daytime now. They're queued up. My sister says even in Woodall Spa, where she is now, the panic buying has taken over there. She went into Sainsbury's. Queue of people trying to get in there. Trying to get in. Mad. Glastonbury's been cancelled, says John. Not surprised, John. Everything's going to be cancelled. Everything. It won't be long before the pubs are closed as well, I don't think. Sean says when people go camping, the first thing is they ask now is if it's got Wi-Fi. Oh, well, that's not proper camping, is it, Sean? Come on. It's not. We never had Wi-Fi or anything like that, and sometimes we never even went on a campsite. We would, as scouts, our great scout leader, Ted Morden, no longer with us. He was a great man, so dedicated to what he did. He used to work for Heinz, and we'd get loads of cheap food from him, you know, unlabelled tins and things like that. He'd have to read the number off the bottom to tell us what was in there, and he'd open it. He said, "Oh, it's beans in there." You'd open it, it'd be a tin of custard. I don't think he knew the numbers very well, but he was a great man. And sometimes we just went camping we would hire a farmer's field, literally hire a farmer's field with the promise that it would be returned to him in the same sort of state that we'd got there in, and it always was, you know. Always was. We took all our rubbish home, and I remember a particular scout camp. I don't know where it was, but we were next to a river, right next to a river, and we made these. I'm there now. You know, I'm there now with my eyes closed. I'm actually there now. We made this shower thing out of two great long sticks, tree trunks, I suppose, that they found lying around, and crossed it like a sort of wigwam affair, you know, 3 sticks going like that, and had an empty baked bean can, large, you know, industrial baked bean can, where they put holes in it with the tin opener, and then put that up there, and the boys would take turns to go under there and shower with water from the river. They dipped a bucket in the river, and you'd go underneath. Of course, it was freezing cold. It was awful. But yeah. How old was I there? 13, 14? Gosh. And somehow we used to get parcels. Parents would send parcels. I can't remember what my mum used to send me, but they used to send parcels, and these kids, you know, would get these packets full of sweets and stuff. Happy days, very happy days. Good morning to Rowan Riley. Good morning. Hello to Heidi. Good day, humans. Morning, Heidi. Just joining us there. Very good morning to you, Heidi. Mandy is going up in flames because it's the only time I'm going to have a smoking hot body. Excuse me, Mandy. I'd like to correct you there. Thank you very much. I've seen pictures of you. There's nothing wrong with you, darling. You already have a smoking hot body. You already have a smoking hot body. And if a certain person doesn't appreciate that, then you know what to do. Thank you very much. Rachel says the picture's fine. Thank you very much. Mick can see my wrinkles. Well, that's good then. Then I know the picture's working fine. If you can see my wrinkles, then it's sharp enough. Thank you very much. Michael can send me rainbow lorikeets. Oh, that sounds lovely. Or 100 cockatoos. Tweet, tweet. Do they do tweeting or do they do screeching? I don't like screeching birds. Nah, nah. Don't like screeching birds. All right. Yeah, we got the phone in tomorrow, Heidi. That'll be tomorrow night. Ah, the delightful Merlin. A very good morning to you, Merlin. Are you still at work? You work at the Pullman Hotel, don't you? I've stopped work. I've cancelled work at least until July now. I find it so risky going into London. Are you still working there? I wonder. I wonder if you're still doing that. So last night I watched a film on Netflix. Now I'm really sorry if you watch Netflix. Please, if you can identify this film, let us know. I just looked around on my Netflix history, or you know, watch again type thing, and it hasn't come up. So I can't remember what it was called. But I watched this spy film on Netflix last night. Anyone know what it's called? Please tell me. So the scenario is a woman who is a spy, but I'm not sure if she's a Russian spy or an American spy. I found it really difficult because she basically seems to be killing everyone. And then in this, she says they're trying to kill the Russian, not president, perhaps deputy president or something like that, who comes to visit New York, and they're in the church. Big church. He comes to visit New York because his American counterpart and the Russian bloke, they became very good friends. As I'm sure is often the case. I'm sure that is often the case, that people on the opposite sides of the fence, you know, they meet up to have these discussions, and you know, if you was to believe the papers, everyone hates everyone else. I don't believe that for one moment. I bet there's people in the KGB and people in the American CIA and the Chinese, whatever thing they have there. I bet there are people there on other sides who have become, over the years, really good friends, but can't tell anyone. I bet that is the case. I bet you. Anyway, so this woman's in there, and if anyone knows this, please tell me what the name of the film is. And she goes and tells everyone that they're trying to kill the Russian dual deputy president, or whatever his position was, and they're in this church, and she goes and she shoots all the American CIA, and then she shoots the president, and I couldn't work out which side she was on, because she was just killing everyone. Anyone know what that film was? It's a good film, and that's on Netflix at the moment. No, I just can't remember what it's called. So there we are. Good morning to Michael Lawrence, just joining us this morning. Morning, Michael Lawrence. Anthony says, roll on the summer. Let's help it gets rid of the nasties. Yes, for some reason, flu does seem to die out in the summer, but it does come back again, doesn't it? Sometimes it comes back even worse than it was the first time, so we don't know about that. Merlin, morning Merlin. He's out of London, back in Dorset till this incident disappears. Oh, so you've done the same as me. You've done the same as me. You know, we're not, doesn't mean we're 100% safe, not at all. But I'm trying to remove as many risks as I possibly can. It's all very well, as I said on the show yesterday and the day before, it's all very well, these people who keep shoving numbers at us, saying, oh yes, you know, I don't know, 10,000 people have got it, only 53 have died. Oh, it's only 53. You tell that to one of the 53 who have died, if you see what I mean. You know, the numbers are irrelevant. If one person dies, it's too many. What's your risk thing? Don't know, really. Don't know. No, I can't say that. John, have you watched Sex Education on Netflix? Very naughty. I don't do those sort of nasty films, John. I mean, I can understand you do. You've been in enough of them yourself, from what I gather. Shocking. I haven't asked you to do any recently, though, have you, my love? You want to have a word with George? What's his name? Hung Young Brit. Try that one. Where are we there? Is it Red Joan? No, it's not Red Joan. Red Joan is another fantastic film. That's got Maggie... Is it Maggie Smith? Oh, is it Maggie Smith, Red Joan? Wonderful, wonderful, warm, fantastic film. Highly, highly recommended. You want a good film to watch and you haven't seen that yet? That's on the Netflix, Red Joan. No, it's not Red Joan. No, this woman is she's either Russian or American. I couldn't work it out, even right up to the end. Even right up to the end, I wasn't sure which side she was on, but it's a good film. It's a good film. Good. Let's see. No Holby City last night. They cancelled that last night. No Holby. Very disappointing. I think you're going to find some of the soaps are cancelled as well, as people in these soaps possibly contract this dreadful illness. Awful. As I say, I went into Aldi last night, not particularly busy after 9 o'clock at night. That being said, the shelves are starting to get bare in there as well. No cereals. None. No cereals at all. As I was walking around the store, I could hear the staff opening some stuff, and a cheer went up. Oh yeah, look, petit pois. Yeah, look, we got frozen carrots. They were getting very excited because a lot of the veg and stuff like that is low. I bought myself a couple of packets of frozen vegetables. I tend to eat a lot of frozen vegetables, that sort of thing. Helen Mirren. What in Red Joan? No, that's not Helen Mirren. That's not Helen Mirren in Red Joan. Certainly not. No, it's not. Red Joan stars. Red Joan stars. Not Helen. Judi Dench. Is it Judi Dench? Yeah, it's Judi Dench. It's not Helen Mirren, is it? Unless Helen Mirren is in it as well, is she? Judi Dench. Let's have a look. Judi Dench is a star. Sophia, Stephen Moore, Ben. No, Judi Dench. Helen Mirren isn't in that. She's not in that. Good Liar is a great movie with Helen Mirren. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Tesco's have shut to restock where Fran is. Madness. Absolute madness. So, as I say, Aldi. I mean, there is alternatives, of course. You know, you could have sausages and something else. No beans. Tinned vegetables stripped out. They had plenty of potatoes and fresh fruit and veg, actually. They had peppers in there last night, plenty of apples, oranges, bananas. That seems to be coming through okay. It's the long-term stuff that's disappearing. I wanted to get some washing detergent as well, you know, for the machine. So I got a couple of bottles of that. Crisps. There's no crisps. Funny, innit, some of the stuff. There was a little bit of bread in there, but not too much there. And the good news is the cooler cabinet had plenty of pizzas. And in the frozen one as well, plenty of pizzas. We do like a pizza. Although I must say I bought a garlic bread in there the other day. Now, I don't really find anything wrong with the food in Aldi. But the garlic bread, it was like a pizza bread. Garlic bread, which was in the fresh food cabinet, you know, with the freshly made stuff rather than the frozen ones. And I put that in the oven the other day. I only have half at a time, so I put half in. And frankly, where's the garlic butter gone? You know, whether I cooked it in there too long, I don't know. But there didn't seem to be much garlic butter sitting there on the top. More like a piece of dry bread, to be honest. Very disappointing. Michael, is Netflix worth the money? Yeah, and you can cancel any time, Michael. The cheapest one, I think, is about £8 a month. Yes, it is worth it, I would say. Although there's plenty to watch on the Freeview. You know, if you haven't got the money to spend and you'll notice it going missing, if you see what I mean, then just there's loads on Freeview. You know, there's lots of movie channels for what's it called, 4Films and stuff like that. They have quite a few good things on 4Films or whatever it's called. Channel 5 has some very good stuff as well. Channel 5 has some very good stuff as well. So that's that. I had my dinner last night. I've cut down on my eggs. I found the omelettes I was doing were becoming just enormous. I was making them with 3 eggs. I've now cut down the eggs in my omelette to 2. There you go, 2. That's what I had last night. I had Slimming World chips, which is just potatoes cut up and put in the oven. And I had a 2-egg omelette with onions, chopped up pepper, and sliced mushrooms. Plenty of mushrooms in Aldi, incidentally. Rowan loves Netflix. Couldn't imagine not having it. YouTube has a lot of full episodes from some TV shows as well. Yes, including, now it's not particularly good quality, Survivors. Type in Survivors, BBC 1970s. That is about a virus that comes down from nowhere and kills virtually everyone except the few who are the survivors. It'll terrify you because, well, say no more. Say no more. All right, let's do a couple of stories then. Where are we now here? Let's see. We've done that there, done that there. There we are. McDonald's. Are you a McDonald's person? They don't seem to be short of food either, do they? It's still chucking it out there. But you're not going to be able to sit in there now. Nope. In the Sun this morning, McDonald's will close all of its UK restaurants in response to coronavirus and will instead only provide takeaway and drive-through services. Now, remember, you know, no disrespect to anyone working at McDonald's, some of them may have this. And you don't know it. They've handed you this little plastic, cardboard now. Cardboard thing with stuff on it and your bags. That virus might be on the bag. It seems to be transmitting ever so easily, this damn thing, doesn't it? So when you're eating it, maybe you should, I don't know how that would work, you know, because, I mean, you can be so careful and careful and careful and careful, and you've only got to miss it somewhere, and it's so easy to miss somewhere, isn't it? But nevertheless, they're going to close all the restaurants, as in the sitting down type things, in response, and will instead only provide takeaway and drive-through services. The fast food giant said customers will only be able to access takeaway meals from 5 o'clock on Wednesday, that's today, so it's started now, in a bid to help stop the spread of the killer bug, which has now killed 71 people in the UK. All of the company's eateries in the Republic of Ireland would follow suit, the firm said. The dining areas of all 1,300 UK sites were being shut down, forcing customers desperate for a Big Mac to use the car only, you know, as in sit in the car or drive through like that. So there's as little contact as possible. You cannot have no contact with anyone ever. That's just impossible, you know. When your postman comes along tonight and shoves that little letter through the door, he has touched that letter. The only way to do that is to then leave that letter sitting on the floor for, 24 hours, whatever it takes, and then pick it up. It's very, very difficult not to contact anyone ever at all. I think it's impossible, actually. Yeah, when I went to Aldi yesterday, I tried to avoid people, but then you walk past them and they're doing something and you're doing something. And then, of course, on the till, you're holding that little basket, you're handing over money, she's giving you money back, which other people have touched. It's impossible. You just do what you can. You just do what you can and hope for the best. Then when you get back, you immediately wash your hands. Because I said before, I think there's also an amount that you need on your hands, right? So I'm not a doctor. I'm only guessing this, all right? I'm only guessing this. But I think, you know, you have a few little bits on there, that's okay. But if you leave them, they start multiplying. So when you have more on there, that's when it becomes dangerous. That's what I personally think there. That's what I personally think. It says, in the last 24 hours in the Sun, it's become clear we need to temporarily change our operations to ensure the well-being of our employees and customers consistent with the government's guidance on social distancing. Therefore, from today, as in now, restaurants will close seating areas and temporarily move to being takeaway only. McDonald's said toilets and hand washing facilities would remain open wherever possible, but seating areas and children's play areas will all be closed. They vowed all drive-thrus and McDonald's orders via Uber Eats and Just Eat were being guaranteed as contact-free with immediate effect. Well, I don't see how they can sort of guarantee. I understand where they're coming from and they're doing their best, but you can't really say it's contact-free because someone... Okay, so perhaps they've put the bag down outside your house and then you've waited for them to go and then you've picked it up, but they've touched that. Someone along the line, even if they've got gloves on, the bloke in the restaurant might have touched it. Or the bloke who's put the burger on the thing might have touched it. You see, it's just impossible. But they're doing their best, and we can only do our best and see where we get to in the end, you know. Oh, dear. I don't know. What are the numbers now? 1,950 people have got it. 71 have died. I don't know. Amazon, look at this. Amazon is banning sellers from stocking and shipping non-essential items. Oh my God. What if I want to order a microphone? Can I not order one anymore? Well, you can. It says Amazon has suspended retailers from stocking non-essential items in its UK warehouses. This is in this morning's Daily Mail to make room for urgent supplies needed during the coronavirus crisis. The e-commerce giant has been snowed under. Amazon have been snowed under with orders for toilet rolls, wipes, tin food and other vital goods from Britons facing self-isolation. They do sell, I didn't know that they sold food and that sort of thing as well. Apparently they do. I think it's a different thing that you've got to sign up for. Haven't looked into it myself. But that's what they get. It says the spike, I know they're taking on, it might have been in the States actually, I think they've advertised for 100,000 staff. I'm sure I saw that somewhere yesterday. Amazon are advertising for 100,000 staff in the US because their orders have just gone mental. They've gone mental. People have gone mental just ordering stuff online because you can understand they don't want to go into supermarkets. Why would you want to brush against someone? Doesn't matter how clean they are. Doesn't matter. You know, a chew, that's it. Worst thing you can do is be underneath someone's sneeze, isn't it? It says the spike in packages has threatened to overwhelm the 13 warehouses here, prompting the decision to ban third-party sellers from stocking non-essential products. Merchants, I didn't know how this works. Merchants send their products to Amazon to their warehouses until a shopper buys it. Amazon then packages the item and dispatches it to the customers. So something perhaps like perhaps this staple gun. Okay, I might be someone who sells staple guns. I will then send a load of my staple guns to Amazon and they there sit on the shelf. So as soon as someone orders them, you know, within a few hours, bang, it's arrived at your door. So I think that's what they're stopping. They're stopping passing on other people's stuff. That being said, you could probably, I think you can still, it says these outlets... Merchants send products to Amazon to store in a warehouse until the shopper buys it. Amazon then packages the item and dispatches it to the customer. Now, it says these outlets can still sell phones, toys, bread makers and another unessential on the website, but they will have to now organise the delivery themselves because they just can't cope. So if you want to buy that stapler now, you can go on Amazon and you can order it from Amazon. I gather it does say, you know, they get rid of the stock that they've already got, but they're not going to bring it back in again. But then, so the company who's sending these on will then get the message from Amazon, I've ordered a stapler, and then they will now arrange your delivery instead of Amazon. It says third-party retailers, which sell 60% of all products on the platform, have warned that a lack of their own personal storage space will likely see a fall in stock over the coming weeks. So there we are. They're concentrating on more important things, which I think is what they have to do. You know, it's just how it is at the moment. God, I hope this is over soon. I just hope this is over soon. It just goes on and on. Every day that goes past becomes more worrying. You know, I've had a few moments. I'm sure some of you have. I've had moments. I really have. Rachel's seen a lot of people wearing the latex gloves. Well, we're not really interested in what sort of films that you watch there, Rachel, in your own private time, my love. I mean, if you want to wear that latex stuff, that's entirely up to you, Rachel. And we said hello to Michael Lawrence. Be careful, I may eat my phone. I don't know if you should be eating your phone there. Now, watch out if you're going to a spa. It's a spa. Okay? Probably not a good place for you to go at the moment. But if you ever do go to a spa after all this dreadfulness is finished, and hopefully we're all still here, make sure you go through the right door when you take your clothes off. This is in the Daily Mirror today. This lady was hoping for a nice relaxing day with her boyfriend, but one little mistake left her in a very, very embarrassing situation. It says treating yourself to a spa break is the perfect way to unwind. My sister's done this a few times, my sister and my niece, and escape from the stress of day-to-day life. But for this lady, her nice relaxing day out ended up being the complete opposite, and she says it was the most embarrassing moment of her life. It all started when she arrived at the spa in Germany with her boyfriend. They were quickly told that the site rules meant that while swimming suits were allowed in the pool, in the sauna, you had to be naked. So she went to get undressed and grabbed a towel on the way to meet her boyfriend in the sauna. All fine so far. But she ended up going through the wrong door and finding herself locked out in the fire escape area with just a tiny towel to cover her dignity. Imagine that, going to a place where you're only able to wear a small, tiny towel around your waist. What sort of places do they have in this world? Really, honestly. It says she's not even the worst part. In an attempt to get a passers-by attention, she banged on the door and yelled for help, but it was of no use. Fully crying, I ran downstairs trying to work out which part of me I should cover with my little towel, my face or a single buttock. Another failed attempt on the floor below. She reached the ground floor and found an open door into a terrifying machine with massive fans and pumps and electrocution symbols and everything. She said, friends, there's nothing like quite running naked and crying around an industrial machine room. I spot a server's lift. Out of sheer panic, I ran into the lift, carrying each boob in turn, mashing the buttons. She notices a security camera in the lift and is torn between, I don't want anyone to see this, and I really, really want someone to see this and rescue me. Finally, a German man starts speaking on the loudspeaker, which she doesn't speak German. She assumes he's saying the naked girl in a fire escape, please stop mashing the buttons. The lift doors eventually open. A spa employee, which she describes as the most dressed man to ever be wearing a clothes, is standing there with no towel in his hands. She starts following through the fire escape passage, but realises the only way to get back into the spa is to leave the building, walk down the street, around the corner, through reception, where a queue of people were waiting. At this point, she's crying hysterically, ah! and cowering at the side of the pavement. I now have an out-of-body experience, a shame blackout. I've reached my max. I go fully through embarrassment and out the other side. Time slows down and I can hear the music of the spheres. Dear me. It goes on with nothing else to lose. She drops the washcloth, puts her shoulders back, head held high, and follows her saviour down the street while ignoring the people staring and pointing. When she reaches the reception, it's busy. So busy that the employee has to yell at people so she can get through the crowd. So there's a lesson there. If you ever go one of those spas, do make sure you go through the right door. Dear. Let's have a look there. Anthony, cat food and dog food becoming a problem in some areas as well. Yes, I'm not surprised. I should think it would be. It would be, wouldn't it? Mick, after Mandy's been in shopping, she's been in self-isolation in the garden shed for 7 days. I can't take any chance. That wouldn't happen, mate. She'd kick you to bits if that happened. She'd absolutely kick you for bits. I'm sure she would. Right. Ricky Gervais in this morning's Metro. Ricky Gervais has been trying to keep spirits high for people self-isolating amid coronavirus pandemic by sharing live videos and has offered to do one a day if we do so desire. Excellent. Excellent. He's funny, isn't he? Ricky Gervais. I wasn't keen on the programme The Office. It wasn't my cup of tea. That being said, I've watched him hosting some of these programmes. Hilarious. Hilarious. The Office actor and comedian went live on Instagram on Tuesday and later uploaded a clip to Twitter in an attempt to be this era's Vera Lynn. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Da-da-da, ba-ba-ba, keep shining through, just like you always do, till the bluebirds blow the dark clouds far away. Da 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 da. Vera Lynn. Bring on Vera Lynn, dear. He wants to be this era's Vera Lynn and to keep people entertained during the doom and gloom. I wanted to do something for people stuck at home, self-isolating, and that Ricky explained via Periscope, which is another like a video type thing on the iPhone. I know it can be depressing, and I wanted to boost morale, really. That's sort of my job, but I didn't know how. People kept asking me to bring Afterlife forward, but I can't do that. It's not up to me, and they've got to translate it into different languages. So I went on Instagram, and I eventually worked out how to do it. So there you go. Look up Ricky Gervais on Instagram. He might make you laugh. What an excellent thing to do. What an excellent thing to do, and I kind of hope that you think the same about this, all right? Keith Lemon has got the virus. Has he really? Well, I hope he doesn't get too ill with that. I'm not a fan, as you know. I'm not a fan of Keith Lemon. Never have been. That being said, I don't wish illness on anyone. Not anyone, really. Rachel's going to wear her T-Rex costume. That way I will be protected. Excellent, Rachel. Excellent. Mick's becoming a hypochondriac. Yeah, me too, actually. Every time I'm... Oh, what's that? A bit like that I am as well. Anthony enjoyed that story. That was in... was that the Daily Mirror one? I think that was. Right. Okay, we're going to do... I've got one more story to do. One more story, and then I'll do the raffle ticket. So get ready for that, gang. How much would you spend... Ladies, when you're having a baby... Something, an experience I probably won't ever have to go through, boys and girls. But when you're having a... Well, you don't know, actually, with these modern things, eh? Men one day, I suppose, will be able to have babies. Oh, the pain and suffering there. Let me get my tickets ready here. Pain and suffering there would be, wouldn't it? I don't know how we've gone from 950 to 961 there. Doesn't matter, does it? Sometimes the numbers are out of order. Don't ask yet. We're not doing them yet. Hang on a minute. One moment, please. We are now trying to connect your call. Oh, that's the other thing. Right, now listen. I want to ask you something. All right? I need my hair cut. Look at it. Look, it's awful, awful. I go every 2 weeks. We're now just over 2 weeks. And as you can see, it's just awful. I'm really worried about going to the hairdressers. Don't really want to go. Remember when I had the beard thing? And I got this. Now, it's got that thing on there, right? So, different adjustments. Now, what's this one? What we're looking for is a 0.5, really. Let me see what this one is on here. Oh, I can't even see that. Oh, hang on. Oh, it says 1. Okay. Oh, is that 1 or is it just a symbol? It looks like 1 to me. Now, I very much doubt you... No, you can't see that, can you? Is it 1? Let me have a look. Is it 1 on here? I think it says 1 on there, so that would be 0.1, wouldn't it? I think I've got other attachments, right? What do you reckon? Now, this is supposed to be a beard one, but from the look of it, I used to have a hair one, but I never used it. I tucked it away in the end, and the only difference was it was a bit wider. What do you reckon if I try all this? What do you reckon? Should I give it a go or not? I'm quite serious with this. Should I give this a go or not? I mean, it could be an absolute disaster. On the other hand, who sees me? It's only you. It's only you that sees me at the moment. It's not like I have to go and stand on a little stage in a pub somewhere and do a karaoke night. What do you reckon? Should I give that a go? Or, and is this, would this be okay? It's only small. You see, that's about an inch across. But the only difference I can see between this and the other ones is the width of it. You know, presumably you would just go, you'd have to do it a little bit more. What do you reckon? Should I give this a go today? Should I get not this morning? Not this morning. I'm thinking about it. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think on that. Ladies, how good do you want to look when you're having your baby? Well, again, another story in the Metro this morning says, after a difficult labour with her first child, Emma Ford wanted the delivery of her second baby to be absolutely perfect. In a bid to feel good in hospital, the 34-year-old spent £2,600 on a spa treatment, false eyelashes, makeup and a new handbag before her son Solomon was born via caesarean section. She's an Instagram influencer. Oh, God, one of those, dear. She also bought a new polka dress from Macy's department store with 4-inch stiletto heels to match. Susan carried a £300 Michael Kors bag into the Brookwood Hospital, Alabama, as her hospital bag. She says, I love getting glammed up. I never go anywhere without makeup on, and it was important to me. This time around, I look and feel my best when having my baby. It's such a... Did she have that dress on when she was having the thing? I never go anywhere without makeup on. It was important to me. It's such a special moment, and I wanted it to be perfect. After my last pregnancy, the birth was so horrific, I just wanted to enjoy this one. I wanted to make it more fun and feel great. So she bought all this stuff and done herself up before she had the baby. I don't know if she had that dress on while it was coming out. And you could just ruin the dress, wouldn't you? Does it say? I don't think it says there whether she kept strutting into her hospital in her heels. She posted the incredible moment on Instagram to the delight of her followers. When I woke up on the morning of the cesarean, I was so excited and ready to meet my little roommate of 9 months, bless. I wanted to look and feel my best, so I decided to do my hair and makeup. Is that something you do, ladies and ladies? You know, would you... oh, sorry, you're over there, aren't you? Big man. Would you spend all that money doing yourself up before the baby? I mean, terrible mess. Terrible mess when people have babies, dear. It really is. Now, let's see what they're saying. A very good morning to Stu. Practice on your bum first. I haven't got hairy bum. I haven't got hairy legs. No, I'm pretty hairless, I am. Look. Look, Stuart. Now, don't get excited. I'm just going to show you something here. I'm just a quick flash. Right, look. No hairs. They never grew. It's not shaved. Hairs never grew on me. Look. That's enough. That's enough. Perving over me like that. Every single one of you. Dreadful people, dear. Dreadful. Now, let's have a look. Right. What are we saying about the haircut? Mick reckons it would work fine. Do you think so, Mick? You've got to keep it quite close to your head. I don't know how it works. Yeah, I think so. It's not on at the moment. Yeah, I think so. Rachel, you men couldn't handle the pain of birth. I'm sure we couldn't, to be honest, Rachel. It does look not a very pleasant experience, to be honest. Cut your hair at home, says Michael. John does his own head with clippers, saves money. It's not really about... See, it's only 10 quid when I go and have my hair cut. Well, £10 and 10 pence if you include the tip that I always give. I'm very, very generous. I always like to see the little faces where it's £10, please. There you go. Here's something for you. And I hand over a 10 pence piece as well. I think they always look very grateful. Very grateful. One man in his Sprinter van say, do it. It's easy. Rowan says, go for it. Rachel says, do it. Michael says, don't do it. Okay. Steph, do it now. We can watch. Absolutely not, Steph. No way. I might make a recording of it. I couldn't do it live because it'd be messy in here. I might make a recording of it, okay? John says that's the same as mine. It's easy. Okay. Mandy says... oh, hang on. Oh, where have you gone, Mandy? Oh, I've lost you now. If men had to give... And Mandy says if men had to give birth, Rachel, we would all die out. Yeah. Do it live now. No, I'm not doing it live. We'll all send you a Snapchat if you do it live. What's a snap? What you will? I haven't got that Snapchat. I don't have that. I don't see the point of it. What's the point in sending someone a photo for it to disappear 3 seconds later? I don't get Snapchat at all. Unless you're like one of these blooming youngsters selling bits and pieces of their bodies to each other, you know, that they don't want to be seen. Can you and if that's the case, do I assume, you know, if you've got that Snapchat thing, it's timed out, isn't it? Don't you have like 10 seconds to see a photo, right? Can you screenshot it in that 10 seconds, or does that not work? I don't know how that works, Snapchat. I did have it for a little while, but of limited interest to me, I'm afraid. Where are we now? One moment, please. Scrolling up there. Giving birth is not a photo shoot, says Fran. Absolutely, I agree. No, we're not having live hair cutting on this programme. It'll muck up my very, very clean... I might even clean another window today. I haven't decided yet. I might go mad and clean a second window today. Dave Holland, BBC have stopped filming on set. EastEnders, Casualty and Holby City all suspended. There you go. I knew it. I said that earlier, didn't I? I said that earlier. That yeah. Oh, it's just getting worse and worse. It's just getting worse and worse. Dave, you could give your hair away on the bingo game. Download Snapchat. Well, what for? I mean, what would people send? I don't really want to see pictures of things, you know. There's plenty of places you can find. That's all it is, isn't it? People sending rude pictures of each other, that sort of thing. Okay. Right, let's do today's raffle tickets, boys and girls. Get your raffle tickets now. Roll up. Get your raffle tickets for Monday's raffle. And you could win a prize of a fridge magnet on our next raffle on Monday. There is our exclusive fridge magnets, only available by winning the raffle, not available to purchase in any shop. Okay? So who's first with the raffle tickets this morning? Oh, Super Chat. I meant Super Chat, not Snapchat. Oh, I don't know. No, I can't do it in here because it'd just be mess everywhere. I suppose I could fire up and do it in the garden or something like that. Not at the moment. It's too windy out there. Too windy in the garden at the moment. Right, there we go. Tickets for... Anthony had to do his looking worse in the rain. Here we go. One man at his Sprinter van. Ticket $9.50. $9.50. One man in Sprinter van. Michael Pullman, 9... I don't know why these names... Have I lost a strip of ticket? I might have lost a strip of ticket somewhere. 961 for Michael Pullman. Fran Green, 962. Colin Coates, 963. Scrolling. There's our Colin. There's Colin. Heidi, 964. 965 for Diane. 966 for Mandy. Rachel's got one of our clocks. Rachel bought one of our clocks. There we are. One of our lovely clocks. Rachel bought one of those the other day. 967. That's Mandy. Where's Mandy? Tony King, 967. Mick Davenport, 968. Dave Holland, 969. 970, Alan Wainwright. Ross Herndon, 971. Scrolling. John Aitken, 972. Steph Diamond, 973. Rachel, 974. Heidi, 975. No, that's not Heidi. Hang on, have I done you, Heidi? Where's Heidi? No, Heidi's done, isn't she? Michael. Oh, is that it? Is that everyone? Yes, that looks right. That looks right. Okay. Anyone else want a raffle ticket? Please speak now. If you're watching the show quietly. Okay, very quietly. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong thing there. Here we are. If you're a silent viewer, boys and girls, don't forget you can claim your raffle tickets by email. Just send me an email to that address there at the bottom of your TV screens. And I shall reply to your email with your raffle ticket number. All right, my loves. Thank you, Sean Pye. 975. And Michael Lawrence, 976. Lovely. Anyone else? If I've missed anyone out, please speak now. Meanwhile, let's do today's birthdays. Bryan Crawford today is 67 years old. Good morning, Bryan. Bryan used to come along to a couple of gigs when I used to be doing some DJing, which I no longer do now. Although I've got to make some music up for the for Central Station, which I'm going to do after the show today. Happy birthday to you, Bryan. 67 today. Stacey. Good morning, Stacey. Stacey, now, I'm not sure if you're Kelly or Anderson. I'm not Atkinson. I'm not sure which you are. Because I know you got married, but I don't know which is your married name. So I'll say hello to both of your names, Stacey Kelly and Stacey Atkinson as well. Happy birthday to you, my darling, today. All right, she used to come to the Golden Lion in Camden, where I did the karaoke some years ago now. David Bailey today is 47 years old. Happy birthday, David. Gary Clifford today, 52 years old. Nigel Cullen. Good morning, Nigel. Hello. I haven't seen you for some years now. Happy birthday, Nigel. Gillian Patsy Zarifis. Happy birthday to Gillian. Yannick Clay is 28 years old. I remember you, Yannick. Happy birthday, Yannick. And Alessandro Jacks today, who's still doing DJing. Good morning to Alessandro. And a big happy birthday to you, sir. Yes, gang, it's birthday time here on United Kingdom Talk. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Twice, coronavirus. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Oh, I'm not paying attention there, am I? Sorry, that finished very much quicker than I thought it was going to finish. Did you get the whole film then, or did it sort of stop halfway? Sorry, gang. There we go then. Right, that's it for the show today. Thank you very much for joining us on the show. I hope we had a little bit of a laugh today. Back with you again, of course, tomorrow morning. Now, the sun's coming out now. I might do this, you know. It needs to be not so windy out there. Because the microphone on the it's only an iPhone I use as a camera, but I might just do this today. And if I do, I'll set up the camera and you can see what a complete and utter balls up I make of it. Thank you ever so much. We've had a little bit of a laugh today. I hope I've managed to take your mind off the terrible events that are going right across the globe at the moment with a little bit of fun. I'll see you again tomorrow morning. Tomorrow night, hopefully, we'll have the phone in as well tomorrow night, and you can phone in tomorrow. Try not to be too depressing, okay? Stories are okay as long as we're not all going to be crying our eyes out or anything like that. And so that's tomorrow night. So tomorrow daytime, usual time, somewhere where we tend to be a little bit later now. Around about sort of 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, something like that, okay? And of course, the phone in again tomorrow night. Have a lovely day, boys and girls. It's time to go for my walk over the forest. Thanks for watching and listening. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye now.